Hello, everyone. Very good evening. Welcome back. We are almost ready to get started with day 14. So, yes, hope you are enjoying the sessions and getting something useful out of them every day. So, any of your friends or classmates haven't joined yet, just remember to hop in using the same Zoom link. And just a quick reminder, please make sure you're joining with the email ID you registered with, since attendance will be taken based on that. Also, an important update, the assessment will be conducted tomorrow. So make sure you attend today's session and be prepared for tomorrow's assessment. And we will share any further details regarding the assessment during the session. So, yes. All right, everyone. Let's give everyone another minute to join and we will start the session. Thank you. Once again, good evening, everyone. Welcome back and hope you're all doing well. So, we are almost ready to get started with day 14. Hope you are enjoying the sessions and getting something useful. So, if any of your friends or classmates haven't joined yet, just remind them to hop in using the same Zoom link. And just a quick reminder, please make sure you are joining with the email ID you registered with. And since attendance will be taken based on that. So, also an important update. Excuse me. Yes. So also one important update. The assessment will be conducted tomorrow. So make sure you attend today's sessions and be prepared for tomorrow's assessment. So we will share any further details regarding the assessment during the session. So alright everyone, let's give our friends to another minute to join. The session will start once the trainer arrives. Thank you. Good evening everyone. So looks like our trainer will be joining us in a few minutes. Thanks for hanging on, guys. So we will get started as soon as he joins. Thank you. So hang on, guys. The trainer is joining. Looks like he needs 2 or 3 minutes to join. So we will get started as soon as he joins. So thanks for your patience. Yes. Uh, Hello, sir. Sir, I think you are muted.
Hello,
Yes.
hello everyone. Good evening.
Yes, yes,
Sorry
yes.
for
Good evening,
delay.
sir.
Yeah,
So over to you, sir. Have a great session.
sure, sure. Okay.
Yes.
Sorry, just give me a minute to set up. I'm going to share my account. How to share my screen, and it will take a minute to set up things. Sorry for delays. Okay. Sorry, it's delayed in terms of opening uh, a spider. Okay, so I think it's taking some time in terms of opening, my spider environment. So let's understand in terms of PySpark further, because next we need to cover up PySpark. Sorry for this inconvenience, all of you. So, when basically this, I don't know, in my system there is some issues. Looks like there is some issues. So meanwhile, it opens by spider. I'm going to explain about I'm sorry, I'm trying multiple times. Looks like some issues. So meanwhile, let's understand that why this data platform is required and what is the journey. So before RDBMS, we had actually text files. Okay, so that was not sufficient in terms of the requirement we have even as of today and earlier also historically. So before getting into RDBMS uh, and PySpark, Spark, basically Spark, I want you to explain that how actually the journey has started. As a beginner, it's very important to understand that how the journey has started. Okay, so before RDBMS, we had text files. Text files is not capable. It's not capable for data modeling. Sorry for spelling mistakes. Data modeling, even when it comes to various other activities related to data. So data modeling itself is very huge concept, right? So when you have just text file, just think as of today you have text file, and if you don't have RDBMS like a SQL database, you don't have any other tool, then how actually you can deal with in terms of your data when you have text files, right? So all this journey started in 1970. See, this journey has started in 1970. Okay. RDMS, then 90, journey before that, you should also know that 1990 to 2010. So this period is about the data warehousing. Okay. So if you try to understand the why RDMS was required, this history is, historical, knowledge is very important for any developer, anyone who want to do something significant in this domain. Since we are getting to Databricks, sorry, not Databricks, uh, Spark, PySpark. No, that is literally about a Spark. And sorry to say, like a Databricks, because Databricks is also built on a Spark only. Any data platform has been built on a Spark only. Okay. So this journey, slowly, when I explain about it, you will understand that, okay, why this journey is important to understand. So initially, they have started with text files. The text file was not structured. It was not meaningful in for businesses. For business purpose, it was not, you know, uh, for business purpose, it was not sufficient, right? So they started in terms of RDMS. This journey also includes ANSI as well as ISO. Hope some of you might be understanding what it means. NSI ISO standards. So commonly when you use SQL, commonly uses of a particular. Okay, definitely I can write multiple places, but understand standards when we say like ANSI, it's about American National. So this is NSI, which has ruled that how actually we are going to use RDMS. Okay. So in that era itself, after 1917, in 1980s, SQL actually emerged as a um, no, when you have to handle data instead of text files, so you should use SQL, right? So earlier it was called SQL. Later they call it SQL, including SQL as well as C programming. So it's not handled. It means basically, you know, monitored. You can say monitored, organized, or all kind of activities in terms of SQL and C is handled by NSI. In short, you can mention here NSI. So we can say like managed by ANSI. Okay. See, other like I have mentioned ISO also. That is the International Standards Organization. So it's a secondary. Primary, actually, we have NSI, which is absolutely about the SQL and C programming. Now, as of today, whatever we do, any applications built on C program, let's say like C, C++, Yeah. So this is a very common and basic standard about the applications what we use. But the reality is basically majority of applications you use, it's built on C and SQL. When we say C, then definitely C is about the procedural programming, and C++ is about the object oriented, right? But all together, based on SQL and C, C++, almost you can say 90% applications today you are using, their base and core is about the SQL and C, C++. Doesn't matter, even though you use Python as a programming for certain application, their core and base is going to be SQL and C, C++ only. Okay, so that is a different, maybe some arguments from different people. But when it comes to, one second. Sorry. So basically, this historical context is very important, because unless you understand why, actually, when you have learned in your academics about RDBMS, SQL, then why the actually changes happened next layer, like data lake. So data lake or delta, you have packet files, you have one lake. So why these things are emerged, right? That is the reason a little bit I'm, uh, spending time on this part. So this period was not, up to 1990, 1992, 2010. It is a data warehousing. But in 2010, Spark, Spark became open source. And then between 2010 to 2014, or you can say 15, 2015, multiple applications emerged based on Spark. Why Spark? Spark was basically, don't mind or feel something differently, but this is very important, very important. Before get see, when it comes to programming or SQL, see, we have gone through how you can do the basic things, right? Same time, on top of that, you have to use PySpark, right? So before understanding that, okay, why you should PySpark? already you have option to use SQL, even pandas also I introduced yesterday, and Python as well. But why you should use Spark? So for that reason only, I'm explaining this part. Okay. And this historical context will give you proper logic to not mess with what you know, like pandas, Python, or SQL. But actually accumulate, like this, the term could be like accumulate with what you have already with PySpark. PySpark in terms of Python, but Spark alone is a basically distributed platform in terms of data. So there is massive development when it comes to data platform. But for the distribution, Spark distribution, you have option to use PySpark in Python itself. But their context and importance, you should not like ignore, but understand. That is the reason I'm spending this time on this historical context. Okay. So between 2010 to 2015, multiple data platforms and BI tools emerged, and core was basically a Spark. Core part was basically a Spark, but based on that, since Spark became open source, a Microsoft or any company, like any product company, they can develop, like their applications and all different, in terms of open source and closed source, right? So it started in 2010, but the result actually, if you see in this period, so for example, see by 2023, 2000, sorry, 13, Power BI was Power BI launched. It's a BI tool. Later, but by 2013, if you ask any individual that they were using Power BI, most likely nobody. Because Power BI has not emerged in 2013 only, but in 2010 itself. Why? Because Microsoft is basically one of the most significant player in terms of applications, BI applications, or any kind of applications uh, in terms of cloud computing or general purpose. So entire industry knows that Microsoft is actually most powerful in terms of ecosystem. So they launched Power BI not in 2013. Actually, they have launched in 2010 only, when Spark became open source. But how it was basically as a Excel 365. Sorry, this term may be exactly not correct, but exactly it's basically in 2010 they have created a add-in. This name may be not exactly the same, but they have created a add-in. Okay. Okay. But later on, this add-in has become Power BI in 2013, a separate application. Why? Only PySpark. Spark, as a whatever you have features in Spark, you are going to explore into basically PySpark. That is, Python is basically a programming language. It's a high-level programming language. So anything you do digitally with help of Java, C, C++, or Python, uh, I mean, those applications are definitely based on this language only. You don't have, like a different, different world in terms of technologies. Core part is going to be, even as of today, C++, Java, Python, and definitely you should not ignore at any cost, that is JavaScript. JavaScript. Okay. Uh, okay. Give me just a minute. One second. Sorry for disturbance. So, we were just understanding about the context. This is a really important for beginners, and this course is all about the beginners only. So understand that, So anything you use, basically it's going to be based on C, C++, and Java only. Mostly. Python is an emerging language which is used for multiple applications. Sorry. So basically, whatever applications as of today you see, whether it's you know, like your iPhone apps as well as Android apps or any other apps, mostly it's built on these languages or combination. They may definitely SQL also you cannot literally you cannot avoid SQL. That is definitely uh, backbone you can so for I mean for anything you do logic technologically you cannot avoid this part. In any case, any apps, anything, end of the day you have to store the data. You have to use data. So for that reason, you cannot ignore this part. It's the most, So that was the era in terms of 2010 to 2015. It was just the initial stage in terms of emerging data platforms, not only data platforms. So data, when we say data platforms, data bricks, aspire. Okay. So we have Databricks, then Snowflake. Now you have, currently like Fabrics. In mention, it may confuse. So these are data platforms, right? But the history, it has started with Databricks. And when it has started in 2010 to 2015. Snowflake, sorry, I don't have any knowledge about this. So in terms of data platform, when it comes to basically data modeling, like you have a star schema, you have Snowflake schema. I understand about this. Okay. I'm going to tell you what it is, how it works. But this part is all together as a data platform, which means it's a cloud computing. Databricks has a separate platform. If you go to, for example, you want to use or you want to become Databricks engineer. As a data engineer, see, as a data engineer, you can use entirely Databricks or Snowflake or Fabric. These three are major platform. Databricks, Snowflake, and Fabric. Major platform from top companies. But when it comes to process, that doesn't change. It remains same. Difference is only about that you use Fabric for unified platform. When we say unified, that means all the technical, all the technological apps you are going to use in Fabric uh, without, using that Fabric itself, you can access all those platforms. When it comes to Databricks or Snowflake, separately you have to use multiple different services applications available. That is like a nightmare for developers. Not nightmare, but very complex, very complex when it comes to Databricks. So thing is, I think somebody has raised their hand. You can type your question. If you have any questions, you can type it. By raising hand, I think you are not allowed to speak. So you cannot speak anything. So understanding purpose, actually, whatever you have concern, you can understand that, okay. When you use Databricks, it's okay. Like you are getting like a pre-download and all. Okay. Forget about that. I have not typed that, right? So go up to next page. Yeah, this is a website, right? I wanted to, you know, suppose if you want to use it on Azure data platform or as a, data engineer, you should explore this part. See, this is definitely a fabric training, but there is no limitation in terms of data engineering, right? So that is a reason even you have same course, why we are using terms like Azure. Azure is a like a data cloud data platform, or you can say cloud platform. But in cloud platform, you have dozens of applications, dozens of services. So Fabric is also like, just like a data, it's a kind of a resource, right? In Azure. Same time, suppose if you are using AWS, you need to identify what is a resource, what is services, what is a different kind of a storage in AWS, right? So just not to confuse all of you, understand that, when you create your account in Azure Cloud, you have option to create services, resources, and various things, right? Since this course is not about mid-level or advanced, it's a basic. So I want you to understand that what it means when we say that services, when we say resource group, when we say workloads, when we say source, when we say like tenant, and same time you have like one tenant to another tenant. So that activity is called like migration. So as a beginner, you may not connect these dots. Okay, how this I know these all these dots are connected to each other. As a beginner, it may confuse you, right? That is the reason I don't want to make into very advanced or even mid-level, to keep it very simple and short only, this entire program. Okay. So when we say today, we are exploring in terms of, you know, that what kind of sources we have, and historically how it has emerged when it comes to data platforms. So that is the objective as of today, and definitely when it comes to PySpark and altogether Capstone project, he will be getting tomorrow. Before that, see when it comes, I'm really sorry that my spider could not open multiple times. I tried it. I don't know what happened to my spider. As I could have shown you some example of functions further. One more time, I'll try a spider. I don't know, some systematic issue, but that is not important for you because you are not learning programming language or coding about anything in terms of SQL or Python related any libraries. That is not your objective. Your objective is to understand the data platform, how it works. So I am going to conclude in terms of where we stand as of now and how we are going to conclude tomorrow with our activity. So largely when we use like Python, when we use SQL, so what are the activities we have performed, right? So you need to focus and understand, okay, I'm going to define, today and tomorrow two times. Today also I want to define, see, connection is one thing, and when it comes to ETL or ELT, these terms I'm going to define today itself. And when it comes to deliverables, as a fabric data engineer, since your program is about Microsoft Fabric data engineer, I'm going to define it how you're going to introduce yourself as a Microsoft Fabric data engineer. When it comes to other factors and there are certain things, that is definitely depends upon your improvement. What I have taught you in last 13, 14 days. Okay, I think 13 days. Okay. So, uh, further, basically, moving, like next 1 hour, I will tell you if you want, you can create an account. So, not database, sorry, I think, see, there's nothing wrong in terms of calling by name Databricks or Snowflake. It's absolutely fine because so data, sorry, basically Fabric is on like either it's just a competitor. You can see when you say like competition, then you have competition with Databricks, Snowflake, and Fabric. So either of tool. So instead of telling like Databricks, so use the basically Fabric, Microsoft Fabric. Create an account if readily available. It's good. If not available, then you have to do that, right? So my account is basically for this course, XLR. So these steps are there to see. Sometimes we face this issues when we are using, you know, trial account. This is a trial account, right? So this kind of issues are quite common. Hmm. So contact to administrator. This is something unexpected. So in that case, I'll go to my admin account. Okay. So, while dealing with, cloud computing, these are very common things you may face. So let me go to my Azure account. That is where I can fix this. No other options. Yes, authentication is required. And there is a different kind of authentication. It's not only your like mobile app. You have number, you have your phone number as well as email ID, as well as third option in terms of like getting some message, phones. Yeah, you use it phone number only because rest all options may be disturbing sometimes. That is how it happens for me. That because I use always email ID or phone number. So email ID, like let's say it's this is what I was using. Password I know. So I will mention here forward my password. Email ID is correct. Here you can correct me. Let's say it's N. This is better. W. Six five. So this is the kind of issues we face due to trial account, not like something we are doing mistake. So we may face like earlier also I said when we try to connect with notebook, right? Um, you know, for a particular session, it was not connecting. So there is no mistake in terms of program or code logic altogether. So sometimes Microsoft will not support for certain things in terms of cloud computing, authentication. I mean, the logic may be that, okay, we don't want any kind of vulnerability or any kind of, misuse. Different reasons they want to list out for when we are facing this problem. So you don't have like, if you have to respond them, you have to very logical into, deep dive that, okay, uh, why you are getting this problem. So they might ask you that, okay, what kind of environment you're using, different scenarios they're going to ask about this problem itself when it comes to fixing this problem. But altogether, they will drag it. Altogether, my last 13 years of experience in IT can tell you that largely they will drag in terms of this IT services. This is a part of IT service. From our side, there is no issue. So the drag and it's all about the brand name. So, for example, if I say it's the issue of Microsoft, and due to their support system, it doesn't work effectively. I can tell you, majority of people, like 70-80% people, they will not agree with me. I don't care. Even 90% people or 99% people don't no, not do, do not agree with this part. But I can prove programmatically. I can use Python, I can use PowerShell, I can use C programming to prove it. This is issue of Microsoft, not me or you. And when it comes to their support, you should try. See, don't believe me blindly. You should try to fix any issues when you're facing any Microsoft applications. Reach out to their customer care. What responses they're giving, record it. I mean to say, like, not only verbally, visually, verbally, or by text, whichever means, all the means, I mean to say. But minimal, you should have text. What they're communicating with you, just record it. And, then see, this is not like a hackathon, right? But if you are a smart developer, use those prompts that what is the issue? Why you are getting this kind of problem? You will get a response. Those responses may not help. That's the reason I am not going after. I can also show you here that okay, use uh, you know chat GPT and all various things. Largely, it's about the issue of Microsoft. Chat GPTs cannot help you here. Cloudy can't help you. Google Gemini can't help you. It's Microsoft. So problem is with Microsoft, so we cannot do anything. Just leave it. Okay. Fine. So that cannot be again exposed for my session for today and tomorrow. It may happen tomorrow also, but that cannot be excuse because it's a trial account. Okay. So even suppose using licensed account, if I use licensed account and still you are facing same issues, then I would be absolutely helpless. I cannot do anything on that part. But I have option because I'm into training field domain for last 7-8 years, teaching multiple different technologies for 7-8 years. So I understand that okay, when it comes to batch where 2, 3, 4, 5, more than 5, 6 people are learning certain application, how to handle in terms of cloud computing, in terms of various other technologies. I understand myself problem. But when it comes to your scenario, you need to have, say, for this course, it's well explained that you need to have this account yourself. So anybody who doesn't have account as of today, they should let us know. And everyone who have account with Microsoft Fabric, they should let us know that okay, what kind of challenge we are facing based on our training. What we are trying to teach you, train you, based on that, what issues you are facing when you are exploring Microsoft Fabric. People who doesn't have account, for them, they can explain their, exact scenario that why they are not able to use Microsoft Fabric. Also, scenarios you should try to, you should write it down with a screenshot. Use a screenshot. It's a kind of proof let me try something, it's not working. And believe me, I am going to help you. Probably I will ask my Excel team to, if somebody asks a help or support on Fabric, I should be able to help. That is all up to XLR. I do. That control is not with me because I am working for them. So any help and support in terms of fixing those scenarios about cloud computing, Azure cloud computing, uh, you have to reach out first XLR, and if they definitely they will provide you solutions. If they're not providing, tell them that my trainer was ready. So help me to connect. They are going to give you some windows at how you're going to connect with me to fix your problem. Okay, that's a route. That's a route or route you can say. Uh, Otherwise, you don't have choice here. Okay, fine. So we are going to continue in next 10 minutes. Uh, uh, Continue to we are going to continue in terms of cloud computing and notebooks. Whether this part works or not, we have alternatives. But I'm really sorry that at least 10 times I have tried. Mm-hmm. First and fourth accounts, I could not get you. Can you elaborate, Namita, with the same comment? Uh, I really sorry, I could understand what you mean here. Mhm. Okay, so we are going to perform everything. See, generally, whether you use any ID, whether PySpark, sorry, notebook, in terms of Collab notebooks or Jupyter notebooks, PyCharm or VS Code, even Pys, we have a Spider. See, I'm really sorry, you can excuse me. I tried at least 4 or 5 times to open my Spider. I don't know what happening. It's not opening. Else I could have started with something else. So, sorry for that. I'll look into this scenarios in break also. Okay. Sorry for that, but when it comes to your comments and all, basically, Namita, that you should elaborate this part. Okay, I could not get like first and fourth accounts. Rest all like yeah, it's all definitely bit tricky. If you have not used cloud computing or certain cloud related applications, which generally used for different purpose, you might be not familiar. So don't worry, Namita or anybody else. What I'm asking you here that just elaborate this point. I will respond you. Okay. Further, you can also try with the help of AI or whatever options available you have. You should try with that. Uh, don't be just rely with me to respond all of you for all the questions. Try and use the AI basically. If you don't know AI, suppose it's very bad case. I'll tell you for most of the people because they don't know how to use AI effectively. They are not aware uh, how to use AI. Yeah, I may have 4 accounts or 10 accounts. That is not relevant here for you, Namita. This is your point, right? Uh, your assumptions, and I am okay with that. Okay. But let me show you with that part also. So what happens? Let's try. I'm just going after your comment. So say Azure, and you can say portal.azure.com login, right? See, I have multiple accounts. So problem is I tried with other accounts also before training, but I was getting some problem. Okay, I'm very sorry for that. But your account in terms of this course, this is the account. See, I try in terms of using password, what I have used. I know exactly there is no chance of any mistake. It's not taken. So I tried multiple times. I don't know why. Even though if I try for forward my password or reset it now, it will not work. So actually, that is not an issue to have you forget my password. That is not a, I mean, that is not even a logical reason because password is very much perfect what I have used in terms of creating this account, this tenant, this resource actually, sorry, this resource. So still I'm facing this issue. Uh, I don't have choice to say like anything. I'm clueless here in terms of because I tried for forget my password and show you right away. I reset it now. Say this is the same account which we have used earlier. You can just read it. I have a screen, right? You can take a scrap like a screenshot also. It's a H H A L and so D. It's a small D, right? H H A L is all capital. D is a small. I use the same. Next. See. So these problems happens eventually when you start using free account, trial account. This kind of issues you may face, but not very like every day. Eventually, it's going to work. Okay, that's what I experienced, last many years. So I'm really sorry to for this part, but that cannot be like excuse for your class. So that is the reason we have tried to get into some historical context. Don't worry, this is also very important, and we'll come back to that. Today I'm going to fix it. If it is fixed, we will have tomorrow's session. If it is not fixed, most likely we are going to postpone this session to Monday or Tuesday or any particular day because at the last session we should have, we cannot like to communicate that okay, this is not working and that is not working, whatever reason may be, right? So tomorrow's session will be confirmed by early morning only. I'm going to fix it tonight, uh, including licensed version. See, I have those options also. For training, I cannot use it. So I'm going to use the license version also. But in worst case, if it is not working, then I will use license version to make sure that your course is getting concluded with workloads I have committed as well as capstone project. And when it comes to PySpark, uh, that will be also, it can be done within 10 minutes also. It's similar to pandas, what we did yesterday, right? Almost similar. So still I'm going after, that PySpark notebook. But altogether, when it comes to a project, that's what I need to show you tomorrow, a capstone project. A start to end, how things works, a small and simple project. Same time, we'll have a questionnaire for 50 questions, MCQ questions, which you need to respond as per the institute requirements. They are going to explain you. Tony is going to explain that how you are going to use that questionnaire. 50 questions will be there about the Microsoft Fabric. So that's one on that. And there is no limitation in terms of what source you use for answer. Use AI, ChatGPT, whatever options you have, you can use it. But attempt all the 50 questions and just not sake of getting, like numbers, marks. Think about you understand those questions. Maybe certain questions not covered in this course as of now, but it's a part of your like data engineering with Fabric. So definitely, I can tell you like few words that any tools or technology you use, 100% you cannot rely on the conceptual thing. This course is about logical factors, right? So during this course, those concepts may be not taught, but prerequisites or certain part may be relevant. Even that kind of questions will be asked in those 50 questions. And it's not surprise because it's all part of your data platforms. Okay. So limitation for me is about just 30 hours for this, program. And we face different kind of challenges during our sessions. Uh, that is quite common. It's something like, okay, when we have like 60-hour, 100-hour session, we will not face this kind of problem, right? We have, these are very common in terms of technical programs or sessions. But it's okay. Leave it. Yes, yes, ma'am. I know. I don't. I have more than 4 accounts. You have seen just four, but I have more than 10 accounts. More than 10, not only 10, but more than 10. So forget about that part. So you will get that, Janvi. You are going to get your mock test today or tomorrow. Most likely tomorrow morning. Uh, about question is total 50 questions. First attempt is about attempt in the sense questions. See, you are all of you are, I hope, 99% people who attend this class, they are mature guys. Okay. And they're into BTech, MTech, whatever, bachelor degrees, right? So don't think like, okay, something immature thing. When you get a questions, you need to think whether you have a response, you do some coursework, whatever help support you need. like internet, Google, ChatGPT, whatever. You do it. But at the end of the day, how you get the solution is not important. It's important that whether you get it or not. So if you get the response, like okay, you understand, okay, this is a response, and you are okay with that because logically it's correct. That is fine. Something you feel like it's not correct logically, you should definitely question us. Definitely, you should question us. Time, Tony, any timeline to have that mock questions?
Yes, sir. First 1 hour would be you started the session. After the 1 hour, the assessment will be happening.
No, no, but okay.
Yes.
So you mean to say, Tony, that in
Huh.
first of the tomorrow sessions, that mock test will be available, right?
At the second half, sir.
Oh, second half. That means
Yes.
after 8 p.m., tomorrow after 8 p.m., you will get those questions.
Yes. Yes.
And
Exactly.
timeline is like 8 to 9 or
8 to 9. Yes.
8 to 9. Okay. Yeah. So I hope everyone gets the clarity here. And Tony, you text it also
I will
because,
explain thoroughly, sir. Don't
yeah,
worry.
yeah. Okay, okay.
At the end
Good.
of session, I will explain.
Sure, sure. So hope, everyone have clarity and solutions part is not important in terms of you, whether you understand or not. You don't understand, choose your whatever options you feel or just leave it. Otherwise, you should have curiosity in terms of that why you don't know. And if you know something, why you are not able to respond this. So this is your like logical thought process to solve a problem solving things, right? So sorry, let's have a break for next 10 minutes. Then we'll continue further. Okay, thank you. Tony, we are going to continue after 10 minutes. Okay. Tony, are you there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sorry. I
After
was in a
10
call.
minutes, we'll continue. Okay. Yeah.
Sure, sir. Yeah, no issues.
Hello, everyone. Thanks. Okay. So, attendance, like, yeah, most of you asking. Topics we have to prepare for the test. See, these are all basic things only. Uh, but questions assume it may be a bit advanced also. But you don't have to worry that whether that is covered in this course or not. Think about whether if you know, if you can attempt. If you don't know, you can use help of Google, AI, and all. Everything is you should that's fine. Okay. So that part is not important. You can take help also. What I mean to say, but importance of this entire session is that you are going to just a head start. Okay, it's not a complete Azure Data Fabric engineering course, but basics, fundamentals of Azure Data, net, sorry, I'm telling Fabric, data breaks, but Fabric, sorry. So Azure Fabric fundamentals you are learning from this course. Okay. So the questions, whatever it may be, it's going to be related to Azure data engineering. And in case if you related to this training and respond, that's fine. If you want to skip, you can skip. Or even if you want to use Google, ChatGPT, AI, anything, use it. But objective is this is not like your curriculum related, like academics related test, right? But objective is that just try yourself. First attempt, give with your actual knowledge. One second. So what I mean, basically, first attempt, think yourself that see, test exams are not about others. That is secondary. Primarily, it's for you. See, you get 99%, 100%, and that result is known by people. So it's for others. But if you feel like, okay, you don't deserve for 100% or 90%, that is actual result for you, right? So think first attempt, give it not first attempt or second attempt. I'm sorry to say that. You use whatever way method you want to use it. But think where you stand. That is what I mean to say. Rest other things you should ignore. Only factor is that attempt those 50 questions, see where you stand, like 30%, 50%, 80%, and those questions are well optimized in terms of your improvement in future. So you may get like, let's say like 50%. Don't get disappointed that you need to improve another at least 30-40% to get opportunities in industry, right? And this course is not about like, okay, straightforward. After this course, you can get into industry. This is just about a head start. And day one, we are talking about that only. So And that is the reason I don't want to involve anything in terms of complex topics or scenarios, all very basics level. So this is your basics about the, fabrics, not mid level also, but see, that means basically whatever have we have covered, that is, definitely basics only. But on top of that, certain things it may reach out to mid level also, right? So there is a reason we say like basics to mid level. But as a beginner, like as a fresher or beginner, you have to reach a mid level developer or engineer. It takes years. Even after 5 years also, people are not getting promoted as a senior engineer, senior developer. Depends, like roles in the different companies. They have different structure. But even 5 years also, you may feel like many people are not getting promoted as a senior engineer, senior developer, right? So as of today, if you join somewhere as a fabrics analytics engineer as a beginner, assume not necessarily within 2 years, 3 years, you may get promoted to next level, senior analytics engineer or senior fabric analytics engineer or name a see designation name could be anything, but altogether the motive you should understand that as a beginner where you stand, it doesn't mean that within 2 3 years guaranteed that after 2 years 3 years you will get some better role. There is no guarantee for that. It's all about the like company and their policies. And when it comes to like manipulation, it happens at every level. There is no like hidden things. What I'm telling you, it's very open. People play around with roles, responsibilities, emotions, feeling, everything in industry in corporates. That is quite common. So be smart altogether. I'll say that improve your skill. Be smart. That's all you have to. Rest all you have to be logical to take care your interests. Rest of things. I mean, something which you cannot control. You can't do much. You can just be yourself, right? So that's what I mean to say. Just be yourself and be logical. Don't be like a fool by any logic, by any mean, but a smart, a smart professional with logics. Okay. You might be not very successful, probably for next 5 years, 10 years also. It's okay. Probably it's not your fate or you won't deserve because you don't have a hint of, uh, you know, play around a skill to achieve that. Play around, when I say play around, that means it's different. It's not a straightforward. So thing is, it's not for everyone. And that is the reason, like not everyone becomes, architect or, vice president or director in IT companies, right? Majority of people never achieve that in their lifetime also, these roles, right? So that is just because it's not about only a skill, as per my uh, my experience. It's not only my experience, definitely my experience, but the reality also says the same because if IT jobs are like 70 lakh, just assume around 70 lakh people in India working on IT domain. Hardly 5%, not even 5% people are into leadership role like vice president, director, senior manager. These roles are not belongs to even 5% people, right? So remaining 85% people, you can think maybe 10%, 50%, 20%. are into senior roles, senior developer or team lead or, but a senior position that cannot, cross more than 10 to 15%. Even though if you feel like out of 100% of 70 lakh people who is working in IT industry, 5% they're into top position. Just assume they're into top. That is realistic also. Maybe 1 or 2% plus minus is every, because this is not I've done the research, but this is a reality based on personal experience, and definitely a lot of data is available. It's not like, okay, blindly I'm telling you. Lot of data is available in basically different platforms. So not every platform is going to be wrong, but jobs altogether in IT in India, it's about 70 to 75 lakhs jobs. Just around 70 to 75 lakhs jobs. Our population is about 1 crore 40 lakhs. It's not even 1% also, right? Directly in IT employment, right? That's not even crossing 1% altogether. So, it's very like deep factors are involved. So, don't think like, okay, something is, but yeah, your goal, your wisdom is really important in terms of any domain, whether it's IT or something else. Data is very common for any domain. Don't forget that, okay, you are into, you know, like stocks, finance, banking, or different domains, supply chain. So you should not think like, okay, data is not going to catch you. You have to catch data. You have to catch data. There is no second choice. That is going to be there. But other factors also going to play around. And that's what is happening as of today also. There is a reason last 1 year, the data what published by the various platform, which says net to net, IT jobs has created just 13 jobs. Net to net, only 13 jobs has been created in IT. Now you can think on this and do your research. Prove me wrong. Uh, text me on or text to XLR. I'm going to respond on that platform to my basically specific course. This is the reality for Indian youth, where 20 lakh, 20 lakh IT graduates, STEM graduates, not IT only, but 20 lakh, more than 20 lakhs. STEM is science, STEM, right? So sorry, STEM graduates. So all about the science, technologies, engineering, and management. Okay. Minimum 20 lakhs. It may be 25, 30 lakhs also. Just consider base like 20 lakhs. We have every year commonly. Last year, this year, only this much job in IT. But relevance to this factor differs because STEM is not about only IT. It's about various different domains, right? That is also fact. But that altogether, it may be not 10 to 15%, like only 10 to 15% graduates are getting jobs. Whether it's like first class jobs, first of all, we don't have. In India, we don't have in IT also. We don't have first class jobs. When we say like first class jobs, it's about research. So research related projects, have you heard like um you know how many people are getting opportunity in terms of research as a software engineer or any by any role or by any name? It may be a rare case in India. If somebody is getting job as a research analyst or scientist in IT companies. Very rare, right? But that is the first level of job, first level of opportunity. And that is not getting exported to India. That is all stay back in US or Europe. Research related jobs are stay back in Europe and America and different developed countries, not in India or any second world or third world. And we are called like third world countries. America and Europe consider India as a third world countries, not first world or even second world, right? So that is also factor. And as a student, if you don't understand, who is going to understand these things? And even though as a teacher, if I understand how it matters for me, it matters to students, right? That what it means, right? So that is a reality, even though we are living into 2026, right? So it's painful, and but the reality. That is why data is very critical for everything. And you are going after data part of learning data platforms, data related technologies. And we have just covering up some basics fundamentals, right? But I'll tell you, deep dive, be a smart, just be a smart in terms of grabbing opportunities. But the definitions, what I'm telling you, to first level jobs, second level jobs, and third level jobs, largely in Indian IT industries, it's third level jobs, not even second level. Second level also, it may be very few percent, like 10%, 20%, this range of 10 to 20%. 70 to 80% jobs are, it's all third level. I mean, I cannot define all those things, straightforward here, but understand the motive that, first of all together, no jobs are getting created in IT. That is a very critical factor. Second factor, we have more than 20 lakhs STEM graduates in India, right? And categories of jobs. So like research related jobs. India won't get any such projects. Hardly any project India is getting. That the Indian graduates in terms of STEM graduates, they should work on those first level of opportunities. No, very rare. It may be very rare case, very few case. Second layer, it's hardly 10 to 15% over. In a very good case, it may be 20%. The rest, 80% people are just struggling for basic IT jobs. Very, very basic IT jobs, right? For that also you have a lot of a struggle. And there is a reality. So you stand whatever you are doing altogether, but this is a reality. Fine. So we are going to continue tomorrow further from here. Sorry, 1 second. So these are the factors definitely young people, especially young people, should think about. And I mean, they have like everything in their hand, like I mean, definitely, it's any country, society, state is about young people. So it's that is the reason I probably sometimes, uh, focus on the certain. things which really relevant to very young people, right? I understand this course is not like only first year, second year BTech graduates. Right. Yeah, fine. So it's all. It looks like all questions are related to attendance. So we'll continue further tomorrow, and tomorrow we'll have project work as well as PySpark. So everything what you have learned in last 13 days, including today, it's going to be in a capstone project along with different workloads, PySpark, all together, whatever we have committed. You will get it tomorrow. So don't miss tomorrow's session. It's very important for all of you. Okay. We're going to cover up everything what we have actually committed to you. Okay. Thanks, everyone. It's over to you, Tony.
Yes, guys, that's it for today. We will meet tomorrow session. So tomorrow you have assessment for the first half, and further more details will be explained in, I mean, explained in the style beginning of the session. So prepare for that. Everything's comes around with these topics, which is teach to you. So yes, guys, that's it for today. We will meet tomorrow, and have a great evening. Thank you, sir.